So the first thing we need to do is to establish the line of the eyebrows and down through the nose. Most people tend to do an egg shape and work outwards. I like to teach working from the inside, working outwards. So you can see here I've just drawn some basic eyebrows and then down through the nose. And what I'm looking for is the size of the eyebrows and the length down through the point to the nose. That will establish the size of the entire portrait. The next thing I need to do is to make sure that I have got a sharp pencil, and when I do start drawing, I don't draw too heavily. I've made my marks there just a little bit heavier than I normally would so that you can see what I'm doing. The other essential thing that you need to work with is a good quality image or the real person. That's the best. But if you haven't got that, you need a very good quality photograph to work from. You can see here that I've got mine from the computer. I don't necessarily have to print it off as long as I've got that good image, and it's on the opposite side to where I draw. So I draw with my right hand, so the image is over to my left. So what I then need to do once I've established the distance between the eyebrows and the length of the nose is to gradually map in line all those key points on the face, the neck, the hair and so on. You can see on the image that I've got up that I've done that, and I will talk you through each point and each step once you get into the classroom and you do your own portraits. So you can see from this section of video how I'm working. I've got the computer, or it could be my photocopy on the left hand side, and I've been working in mapping in all the details in line, and I'm now beginning to work in tone. So the important part of this is to block in areas of where the lights and darks are. Once again, don't press very hard, just map in the key areas until you should get areas where there's a dark area into light and then again into dark. Even the dark bits I'm not going too heavy on the pressure at the moment, just establishing what's called a half tone. You'll notice as I'm working that I changed the way I hold the pencil, and I encourage you to practice different ways of holding the pencil to see which suits you. You can do that in the corner of your sketchbook as little warm-up exercises when you come in, as do now tasks. All those sorts of little things that you can do can help you to improve the way you draw. Other things I continue to do is to continue to check to see if I've made any mistakes, to see whether I've made things too wide, too long and so on. Even when I'm adding the tone, I check where it's dark and where it's light, because the tone itself starts to create the shapes that help to define what the portrait looks like. If you get those wrong, then the whole thing looks wrong. So you can see at this point I will stop and change the position and the way I hold the pencil. So these are the techniques that I'd encourage you to explore and experiment with in your own sketchbooks. Once I've established the basic light and dark areas of the tone, I then start to work over with a little bit more pressure, but not too much, just establishing where the tones are and just establishing where what we call the mid-tones are. They're the bits that are just a little bit darker. At this point, I'm quite happy with the proportions, the way everything's laid out, so now I can really start to have a little bit more fun by going into those darker areas. You notice I've changed the angle of my pencil now, so I'm going to get a little bit more pressure, but not too much. But this is where I pick out the details and the way the lights and darks change in the tone. So I sped this part of the video up where I'm just working over adding little details and everything to get the general lights and dark. And you'll see once I move my hand away that I've done everything apart from the eyes. A lot of people, that's what they start with. I would recommend doing the eyes at the end. Save the best till last. So again, what you will see is me working on the eyes and the eyebrows and everything. Obviously I need to work on my video skills, because all you've got is a shot of me working with my hand. In class I'll show you how the irises and everything need to be mapped in, and as I move my hand away on the video you can see the results of what I've been doing. So in class I'll show you and demonstrate how you can work on that to get realistic wet looking eyes. So here's the final image. If I was to compare it to the original artwork from Kehinde Wiley, is it the same? No, it's not. Is it a good image? Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's good for what the amount of time that I spent on it. It demonstrates that I can use tone and I've learned an awful lot from it. So if you end up with something that you is a good drawing, but it doesn't look like the original, does it matter? No, because you're learning. So hopefully you find that this information is useful for you. The best way of getting really good at this sort of thing is to keep practicing. See you next time.